Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Leah Love. I'm back again for another edition, and you're not going to want to miss this because I'm going to be spilling the tea about why I have decided to kick Instagram to the curb. I want to share some things with you that happened yesterday that was just the absolute final straw. I'm definitely sick of them. But first, if you are new to this channel, I want to thank you for joining me. I am Leah Love. I am a homemaker, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and I've been a homeschooler for over 10 years. And I've recently done a lot of research, a lot of thinking, a lot of listening to things that I wasn't used to hearing about. And I eventually realized that I had been led astray. And now I am a conservative and I am here to share the good news. Many of you probably follow me on Instagram and have now been, watching my new YouTube channel. And I'm really excited and I thank you for being here. If you are new, I really highly recommend checking out my other videos. Even if you don't believe everything, if you don't follow everything, it's really important to hear two sides of a story. It's important to hear multiple perspectives on things so that you can be informed and think for yourself rather than being a slave to the Democratic plantation. So let's get into the topic of today. I kicked Instagram to the curb because I am sick and tired of the communist, socialist propaganda that they are using on their platform to deplatform, to cancel individuals who do not follow their communist narrative. And you may not like the word communist, but at the end of the day, if you do your research, you will realize just how communist and socialist this publishing platform is. They actually do not support free speech. They only support the speech that they support, which is the liberal radical left. And I'm going to share with you some incidents that happened to me in the past, and then the incident that happened yesterday that was just the absolute final straw for me. But first, let me get into one of the incidences that was the second to the last straw for me. So let me show you the screenshots of it, and then I will show you the message from Instagram. So this is one of the posts that I shared on my Instagram channel, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious because, in fact, it's true. Yes, we know that there are three Black lesbian women who are at the head, but at the end of the day, it's really been the white radical liberals that have been out at these protests, carrying on, claiming that they are fighting for Black people, when in fact they have been the most racist to Black conservatives because I guess we're not Black enough, just as your boy Joe has told us. Then this other is a post from the Proud Boys, and I simply shared his, I think it was maybe 5-minute video where he 100% denounced that they are a white supremacist group, and he himself is a Cuban Black individual, and there are people of all races, and I've shared other videos of Black individuals who are in the Proud Boys. I know an individual who's also in the Proud Boys who's a Black male. So their narrative that he is, or that the group is racist, is absolutely false. But because I shared these two, I got them deleted by Instagram, and they were sharing with me that my entire account is at risk of being deleted. So they have called those two posts hate speech when the one with the Proud Boys was actually denouncing hate speech and white supremacist group, and the other one was a literal photo by a white person who made the outfit and made the whole background themselves, and yet that was hate speech. It wasn't me saying that, F white people. This is what the person was wearing, and I simply showed it. And I have seen far worse on Instagram, and yet they allow it to go through, and as soon as a couple of liberals report the post, Instagram, does their bidding because Instagram is part of the state-sponsored, deep state, excuse me, sponsored machine that is only going to promote, white liberal leftist ideology, radical leftist ideology. And I thought it was really incredible that they would, threaten to delete me and remove those, and they already did remove those posts. But the kicker was this post that I posted, and they then sent me the same hate speech message and that this was deleted. And then they, stated that I was in danger of being deleted. And I read this earlier in the day, and then I'll tell you what happens next. But first, I want you to see this post. So while I was in Atlanta at my second home, uh, working out some issues there, I got this DM from this individual who is a white radical liberal. He later came into this post that I shared on my page and claimed, oh, I'm not white. He might have been Hispanic, I'm not sure. Definitely white colored. And he left this ridiculous message in my DMs, condescending, incredibly racist, to assume that I've only been raised by white people, to assume that my mindset is only because I've been brainwashed, and telling me about how I needed to open my eyes and privileged white man, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And these are the type of messages that I get from, irate white liberals who are upset that they have come across a free thinking black person. And so they deem it as their responsibility to come into our inbox and let us know, us black conservatives, that, we are brainwashed, we're idiots, we're coons. I've received so many of these types of messages. And rather than respond to them individually, because there is no reasoning with them, there is no talking to them, I don't care about them, but I have started to blast them on my Instagram page. So what I do is I screenshot the DM, and I also screenshot their page, and it has their name on it, because if they thought that they were cool enough to come in my inbox and tell me about myself, they don't mind that their name is known and who they are. And so I just put it out there. And so what happens is, rather than responding to this person, I just simply copy and pasted this onto my Instagram page, and everybody went off. There were like 150, 200 responses. He was being dragged back and forth, but because he's trolling me, he came onto my page and, tried to respond to a few people. And so then he also responded to me on that thread and said, oh, rather than having an adult conversation where we could just share ideas back and forth, you would just go ahead and put me on blast on your page. How immature, and blah, blah, blah. So I responded that, you know what, if you really wanted to be an adult, you would not have first started by insulting me and acting like a condescending prick. And I went on to say other things. So everyone loved the original post. But at the end of the day, he ended up putting his page on private and crying to the big bad wolf, the big man, Instagram. And immediately he reported me, and immediately my page was taken down. But it wasn't totally taken down, and I did not get a message from Instagram that I was actually banned or blocked. I just got another one of those: warning, this post has been deleted for hate speech. Your account is in, jeopardy of being deleted. But other than that, I got no other message. But when I went back onto my page a couple hours later, I could only see the top header that has, your name and your little blurb. But I couldn't see any of my posts. It just kept saying feed not active. I tried to see my feed in terms of people responding to my posts. That was a pure, black screen. It was blank. Went into my DMs and tried to, respond to a couple of DMs and let people know, hey, I think I've been banned. I'm not sure. And I tried to send messages, and it said message unable to be sent. And so at that point, I realized that Instagram, yes, it's their company. Yes, it's a publishing company, and they can deem whatever relevant for their particular business. But at the end of the day, they claim to be, impartial. And I've seen all kinds of nonsense, hypersexualized, all kinds of liberal rants against, conservatives. I've seen everything under the sun there. But yet they have this campaign that as soon as their, white liberal or radical liberals say anything against a black person, they get us deplatformed. They get us warned and sanctioned. They delete our posts. but none of their posts are ever deleted. And that's when I realized that, yes, I already knew it. I already heard about them. I've already heard about the nonsense that they do. But that's when I really realized that this is 100% a radical liberal machine that does not accept Black conservative ideology. And I'm quite sure that there's conservatives of all races who have been sanctioned and deplatformed. And at the end of the day, I just was fed up. And I didn't even have time, because I was in the midst of traveling back to my home state, to create a backup account. And so I went ahead and created that backup account after I couldn't really do anything with my original account, and just tried to tag as many people as possible, and left a video on my backup account to explain what had happened. And it's funny that soon after I posted that video on my backup account, then people started tagging Instagram. And then literally like a half an hour later, my account was opened back up again, my original account. Now I could see my feed. I could see all previous posts. I could respond to DMs. And so that's very interesting that for about a space of 3 or 4 hours, they had totally blocked me. And had they not been flagged by my followers, who knows how long I would have been off. And so I decided at that point that I was just going to fully make the switch over to Parler. That's a social media, platform that is totally free speech. They do no banning, and there's tons of conservatives over there, and they've been over there for quite some time. People have been asking me to go over there, but it's a different type of platform, different learning curve, and I've just been kind of lazy, and I just kept saying I'll figure it out eventually. It's a little different, but I had set up an account back in July. I just never really accessed it that much. And I was most recently encouraged by another woman. I believe she has like a Jan. She has like 120,000 followers on Parler or whatever. She kept encouraging me, please come over to Parler. And she gave me a list of people to follow that would have good information. And so I was very grateful to her. And so I went ahead and decided yesterday that that's it. I am no longer going to support Instagram in regards to, being a participant in their marketing campaigns. The more I scroll through their feeds and whatnot, is the more that, I contribute to them when they're quick to delete me for hate speech, when I've done no such thing as hate speech. And so I went ahead, and I have been encouraging over the past 2 days, I guess it was premonition, to, tell people, hey, I'm on Parler also, because I keep getting these delete messages. I don't know when it's going to come down, when the hammer's going to fall, and I'm going to be completely banned. So please start following me on Parler. And I went from, when I first started, 27 people when I first started advertising, hey, follow me on Parler. And then the day that I was banned or blocked or whatever they call it, for a couple of hours, it had gotten up to 250. So currently I'm almost at 7,000 on my Instagram. It's a shame to, not be able to interact with them as much. But I am going to now put my information, all my fun posts, my series on Trump is not racist, that has really been, it's gone viral on Instagram. I'm just going to repost all of those on Parler, and repost most of my posts on Parler. And from here on out, my first post will be on Parler. And I've decided that what I will do with Instagram is either just put up a meme that says, hey, follow me on Parler, because Instagram keeps, attempting to ban me from this platform. I'm trying to move as many people over to Parler. And then also what I will just simply do is screenshot my Parler post and put it on Instagram, where you can see my username, and that it's Parler. And then in the description, I will say, continue to follow me on Parler, where my original posts are, and all the comments are there. And so I've had people been very gracious who said, hey, we'll definitely follow you wherever you are. Some were saying, my daughter isn't on Parler, but she's on Instagram. So I've been, sharing all of your posts to her here on Instagram, to try to get her to deprogram herself and open her mind. Had a few posts like that. So that's why I decided I won't completely shut down my Instagram, but I will just simply keep sharing my Parler posts so that people understand that the original content is now going to be on Parler. But I'm not going to post any new content to Instagram unless in the rare case that someone's asking me for backup information, etc. So that's the story of why I have now finally given up on Instagram, because at the end of the day, as I said in my video yesterday explaining on Instagram, why I am leaving Instagram in terms of posting original content there. It's not about the numbers to me. It's not about the followers. I appreciate every single one of the followers. I get so many DMs from people all over the country, all over the world, every race, Asian, white, Hispanic, Jewish, and they're just so encouraging, so supportive, and so very loving. They share information that I didn't know, links to articles, links to other websites, and it's just been phenomenal to be able to communicate with so many different people that, BLM and, the Black victimologists say, oh, they must be racist based on the way they look. I've got trucker looking, white individuals, big beard, cap, and they're just as funny, just as nice, just as encouraging. They share my posts, and this is somebody that most Black people say, oh, he must be racist. He looks like a Southern, white guy with a beard. He must be racist. And I've been proven the opposite time and time again. And so I'm not worried about, the Black people constantly calling us coon and sellout and whatnot. We don't care anymore, because at the end of the day, you guys are being Sambos for free for the Democratic Party that doesn't even like you. They only use you every election cycle. And so that's the story of what happened yesterday. Long day, but if you are following me on Instagram, please go ahead and follow me on Parler. That's Parler. It's a free speech social media platform. They don't deplatform, they don't delete, they leave you alone and let you post what you want to post. And everywhere, pretty much, except for my Patreon, my username is always Leah Love Online. Same on Instagram, same on Parler, same here on YouTube, same on my Facebook page. You can always find me if you do Leah Love Online. I hope to see you there, and I hope that we all continue to wake up. God bless America, and let's get this work, y'all.